Now, another thing is, let's say Amanda did come here, I can't even tell you if she flew here or drove by car, for example, right? Which is the only two ways she can get here. The third way will be a bus, but like I said, right? I can't tell you how she got here, even, right? Exactly. That's what I mean, too, right? I'm not even saying she came here either. That's the only way something can happen between me and her, since I'm in Georgia and she's supposed to be somewhere else. In Texas or Arkansas. Now, I ain't even been in that area. Not once. Not once. Unless it's, I might have drove through it to get to Oklahoma with David, right? But why? But why? Because I didn't want to see John, or because I didn't want any hassle with Daphne, right? Because again, right, if the woman's acting weird before you even meet her family and she doesn't meet yours, something's starting to look a little off, right? You don't need a rocket science to tell you if she leaves you straight to Tennessee. She's just using you to get her daughter from her mother, and that's all she wanted. She might not have even wanted Jonathan, but that wasn't my fault either. Right. That was her mother's fault, right? But I'm still a decent enough guy that it don't matter. Plus, like I said, you can't even discuss a different opinion about whether the water was still water or wine without getting all crazy on me, right? Like, you know what really happened there when you don't, right? It's an opinion, right? And the only one who had the opinion that it was made into wine is John, the governor, right? But one of them knew it was water, one of them didn't, right? Now, have you ever been drunk off of wine because you're drinking wine all afternoon, right? The one thing you don't know is if someone switches it with water. Even though they taste a little different, right? The thing is, they put it in the purifying pots, which might have a little to do with what might taste better, I don't know, right? Whatever it is, the governor thought it was the best taste of wine he ever had, right? That's not coming from a man who has not been drinking a lot of wine either, right? But he's the only one to say all that, right? John is basing the whole miracle upon a possible drunk man, right? Do you understand what I mean, though, right? It's just a different opinion, right? Of what really happened there, right? Don't prove it or disprove it, and don't say it was or wasn't wine, right? I don't know if he could or couldn't, or did or didn't either. But you can't even discuss the possibility, though, that the man was simply so drunk he didn't know the water was wine, which would also make sense, right? You're acting insane about it, right? That's what I mean, right? Because all I'm doing is giving you an alternative opinion. That the guy was so drunk, he just thought the water was wine. And it tasted better than the wine to him, right? After he drunk all that, right? And he's not wrong, though, right? About other feasts he's been to. They usually try to serve him crappy wine all night, right? Well, they just ran out of wine, so they started serving him water, and he liked the water better than the wine. That's not unusual, right? That's the irony, right? Water is really better for you than wine. If you read Jeremiah a lot, he talks about this, right? Drinking water instead of wine. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. You're not reading your Bible. I don't know. I don't know. Now, again, another problem we're going to face in the future if we keep trying to nuclear warhead each other, China or Russia or United States, right, is we're going to create that wasteland in the movie Mad Max, or right, something like that. If we actually do that strategy, right, to each other, right, we got to find a better way than nuclear warheads. Just settle our differences, because that's just going to get the whole world fucked up. Not just your neck of the woods either, or ours. Because what? We're not going to retaliate, or right? See, the problem with that is you might get us, but we might get you back, right? I know. And all it takes is one or two to get through, and you're screwed as well. So. See, like you, we're going to target major cities, right? And as soon as you launch, we're going to launch ours, right? Right? It's called retaliation, right? And even if you get us, we're going to get some of your cities and mess up your population too. Both sides will suffer loss, right? Because we still have enough that we can fuck you up as much as you're trying to fuck us up, right? And it fucks us all up. Really fucks us all up. But no one can stop it once you press that button. And whoever presses it first started the war, right? And that could be a good thing or a bad thing too, but then there's retaliation, because we're going to see it coming our way, right? And we're going to fire ours at your cities, right? And that's going to get through to your city too, right? Just as we can't really stop yours, you can't really stop ours either. And then what? Then, right? We're going to have a bunch of Hiroshimas and Nagasaki cities, right? In our own land, right? That too, right? But there again, even that city, those cities, and the people who were outside of the blast zone survived it to a point, right? It's not like you can't, again, right, rebuild from that mistake, right? But it's a big mistake, right, once you make it, right? But yet, even in India, where they found that ancient city that looked like it was the first nuclear warhead used in history, right? Yeah, how can it be? How can it be? When again, right, we think we came up with it. But if we didn't, someone else did before us, right? How do we know about it ourselves? Because anyone can develop them, right? Here, on planet Earth, right? The thing is, you got to have a what? Technological advance. Now, you've heard of reincarnation. Well, the same would occur if you replenish the whole planet, right? Meaning you keep trying to remake it after they destroy it, right? And that could just be part of what happened in the past, right? You wonder why I talk about the past? Because those who don't learn from the past, idiot, are doomed to repeat it. You never heard that lie saved from someone else. Other than me, I have, right? If you can't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it. That's what I mean too, right? Now, I never said I didn't love Mary Bell. I just felt like she didn't love me to the point I finally broke up with her, right? But I don't know what happened with her, right? She never seemed to want me, right? Like I wanted her, right? And I never said I was trying to get you pregnant. I was nothing with you about it. Well, we were leaving our children, right? But I wanted a girl, not a boy. Not that it mattered if you had a boy. But again, I'm Irish, Stubby. Right? So you named Patrick William Harrison. Right? So what do I care? If you name my son that, right? Or if he's someone else's son that, right? I don't know, because you don't want to give me a DNA test. You done made up your mind for me if it's you, right? But I don't even know it's you. Why don't you just be clear, Mary Bell? This is Mary Bell Petita Jose. I'm Shane's girlfriend. I don't think you got Patrick with you. Just say it. But that's still an opinion. It's not a fact, right? The birth weight is a fact. If he's 4 pounds 9 ounces, right? That you can't change, right? But if he's less and you lied about it, okay, that can be changed, right? That can be told to me, right? If he's under 2 pounds, right? He can still be Scots and be your little birth weight baby. But there's a big difference between 2 pounds more, right? Now we're talking 2 pounds to 9 ounces more, right? Than a normal child if you had him in December, right? And got pregnant in December, right? And your child does not develop quickly, darling, in 5.5 months to be over 4 pounds. No child can, right? But if she was conceived in September, yeah. And you were still taking your birth control pills for 3 months, right? And had your period after, which, like I said, right? I told you all this in the letters. I don't know if you read it all, right? I don't know if you care anymore, right? I just don't want you to hurt Patrick if he could be mine. That's all. I didn't plan any of that. You didn't either, right? But you don't hurt the child either. Because another way to prove he's not mine is to murder him. Then I guess he never can be mine again, right? Though you might never have a child again, right? And I'm trying to hope you wouldn't do that, right? Because see, only 2 people could know if you divorced Scott, right? And he made you do the DNA test, right? You and Scott, right? That could put Patrick at harm if you're deluding yourself that he's Scott's child, right? But I don't know if you did that, right? With Scott, right? Maybe you didn't do that with Scott, right? And just believe he's Scott's, right? Which that's your right too. I don't know. I can't really steal that belief from you, but you're making me try by showing you how it works with normal pregnancies, right? And unless you're doing something abnormal, that's how it would work, right? By 6 months, he would be 2 pounds, right? By 5.5, 1.5, right? Pounds, right? And I'm giving you, again, 2 pounds, right? For 6 months, right? It wasn't even 5.5 months if you got pregnant in the middle of December, so you thought, right? Now, it's also odd if you immediately test yourself after missing your birth control pill one time to find out you're suddenly pregnant by the same guy, right? You usually have to wait and miss your period in January. Then you find out you're pregnant. Is that how it happened? I don't even know. I'm asking you, right? Or did you miss the pill, have the test, and found out you were pregnant the next day? That ain't how it works. I don't know. You are pregnant. You were already pregnant. And deluded yourself that the baby was his. So did he. He bought it too. That's why I'd be a little worried if he. Why you even call? It wasn't because you wanted him to be mine if you're the one still denying it. And you're the one still trying to deny he could be mine, right? I don't know, right? That's all I can tell you, right? And be honest. You can't even be honest with me and say he could be mine, right? I told you why. I don't know why either, I don't know what it was that got you pregnant that time finally, right? If it did, right? But if it did, the birth weight is what shows it, not just idle chit-chat, right? Now also, if he's less than 4.9, not more, by the way, if he's more than 4.9, he's definitely mine, right? He could be up to 1 pound more and still be mine, right? Which is 5 pounds 9 ounces, right? I don't know. To 4 pounds 9 ounces, right? And only you and Scott can have access to the birth certificate. I'm not his biological father. I'm not listed on the birth certificate. I can't even get it right. Unless I hire a lawyer to do it. Which I can't afford one for that, right? And what then, right? I just have a little, maybe possible little illegitimate son out there who you don't want me to acknowledge to be my son, okay? Better that than you to hurt him if he is my son, right? Which is how you're scaring me. Because either someone got you pregnant or they didn't, right? If there's them around, right? That's how it works too, right? And whether you think it's someone else or not, it don't change it if it wasn't them, right? Sorry. Now, I don't even know, like I said, about Amanda or anything. Even if she was to tell me it was her and she came by again or something, right? The three things I can't know is how she got here. By bus, plane, or car, right? I will never know that if I'm being blacked out after I'm with her, right? Though I'm not saying I have a problem with it anymore. Either way, right? But I don't know. I don't know. And maybe she should find a way to let me know, definitely, if she can. If she can't, well, someone in the mail department, right, who works at the post office might be blocking her letters to me, right? Which they're not supposed to do, which they're not supposed to do. That's illegal. That's illegal. Those are felony charges you'll be charged with there, right? If you are. And again, what do you want, right? $1 million from someone who ain't got $1 million, right? Only get so much a month. Now, trust me, I'm paying the bills right? But that's all. That's all I can do. Right. But what do you want, right? I don't even know nothing about anyone since Molly's Eve, right? In 2008, right? And that's all I know, right? And you can't change that, right? Now, like I said, whoever is saying this, they sound kind of gayish because they talk about who wants a child with you, right? To me, like I don't have a child already, or do. I know I have children out there, right? I don't bother me. It must bother you though, because you hate me so much. You want me to be without children, right? Which ain't your choice. It's up to the women I was with, right there. And that makes you a sicko too, right? Something's wrong with you if you're trying to make me feel like I shouldn't have a child with a woman when I already have, right? At least Daphne's child, right? That's fucked up too, right? People don't normally say that to people, right? And I never said that to Mary Bell myself herself, right? That I wouldn't want a child with you ever. I never said that, right? That I know of. Now, if she received typing letters, I don't know who it would be from, but it wouldn't be from me, right? I only wrote her handwritten letters too, right? Other than that, I don't usually mess with writing a woman unless there's something odd going on, right? And I don't understand, right? See, I only wrote her because she's acting weird about the relationship after we done had the sex and all that, right? I'm trying to figure out what's going on, right? And that's it. That's it. I'm trying to care and keep the relationship going or break up with her too, right? Because I don't know what she wants, right? But I ain't the one who can sabotage you if you're you're living with me, I wouldn't sabotage you. Then you still wouldn't have gotten pregnant. But the only one who can get you pregnant is someone if they know you're taking birth control pills who can the birth control pills. And they're not going to tell you if they think you're cheating on them, dumbass. Right? If they did, right? They're going to lie about it. And whatever your problem is, I can't change it that if you got pregnant by me, you did, right? And you can't hurt the child if I did, right? It's not his fault either. It's called an unexpected pregnancy or an unwanted pregnancy. And you usually deal with that either by keeping the child or adopting the child or putting him in foster care. But you cannot murder the child because he's old enough to be a human, right? Way too old, right? You can't treat him as if he's not when he is, right? That's what I'd be worried about the most, that you would hurt the child that you found out through a DNA test with Scott, right? Well, if Scott has proven it not his, there's only one other persons it could be, mine. And she's the one acting weird about it. Like I said, not me. I'm acting okay. I can handle it, right? I can handle child support. I can handle her coming back. Or I can handle her not coming back and marrying someone else even, right? I know that happens in the real world. I've seen it my whole life, right? My dad did it to my mom, and my mom did it to my dad, and people do it that way. And again, some people try to work it out, like Aunt Russell and Uncle Russell and Aunt Vicky, right? At least they were together till the man died, I guess, right? Wasn't a perfect union, right? We're coming to find out, right? And like I said, right, it's all I can tell you, right, is what the Bible says in other people's opinion too, right? Or a different opinion, right? It's the whole point to it. But you keep wondering why I keep bringing up the past, because I'm trying not to repeat it, but I don't quite know what I'm doing wrong. See, that's the other problem, right? I know it's not in trying to find a girlfriend on a world of male and females. I know it's not me who's afraid to have a child with a woman. It's some other man, right? Who's acting that way towards me and himself, right? He's trying to make me like him, maybe, right? Or if it's Mark Eve, I don't know, right? Who gives a boy a girl's name and this is the thing, right? But if something was off with him, right, I would understand that. But I don't know. And it's too personal for Big Rod to just tell me, I guess, right? So I don't even know if I should even ask, because I don't remember anything specific to ask him, right? About Mark, right? Or why he named him Eve, right? You just didn't think about it as his stepbrother. It's like the boy named Sue, too, right? I don't know why. So Mark was small, 5'2", right? Not a real big boy, right? So he probably was bullied a lot, right? Big Rod for you naming him Eve. Worse than naming him Sue. And he might not get to fight like other boys, right? He's smaller. And would be bullied. Where was your head? But whatever, let it go.